Hi, folks. I'm just finding me here for a minute. Turn down my volume. Okay. I do see me. Hi. Let me share out all the places. There. Okay. And share there. Okay. Get where I can see all my notifications. Hey, Dee, how are you? How are you doing? All right. If I can stop playing with my phone long enough to put it up here and actually be able to see my comments, that would be nice, and to see who's joining in. So, hi, my name's Amanda. Was simply sorry about that, but I needed to adjust it just a little bit. With Simply Flamazing Art, the creative course collab, and I am a curator for the Creative Curiosities Paper and Notions pack because I love to share my love of art with everyone and teach folks how to share theirs with others as well. So, this is 20 minutes of painting with me. And what is that? So, that is based on the 100-hour rule, which states if you do something for 18 minutes a day, you will be 95% better than anyone in your field. I kind of reword it a little bit for this. And I say if we do something for 20 minutes, because it's an easy number. And I'm just like, where's my timer? It's right here. I have my little handy timer. We set it, and then we paint for 20 minutes. And when we're done through this process, we will be 95% better than when we started. So we are currently working on some pumpkins. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I'm going to switch us down. Hopefully this works without any weirdness. I'm actually going to watch to make sure. And we're going to get started here in just a minute. Yep, everything switched over for me. Let me know if it didn't switch over for you, because I have had some issues in the past with it properly switching over. So we're going to be finishing this piece up. Here were a couple of my inspirations that I used for this. Love the brightness in here. Love the pinks in here. Loved all of these like leaves going around. So we're just going to let that hang out right there so you can see that as we work on our piece. Now, why on paper? Well, I had originally, when I started this, said we would be using all kind of different surfaces. And I love that idea because I'm mainly a canvas painter. I mainly paint on canvases, but I wanted a way to track what we're doing, right? So we can see our improvements, right? So I thought, what better way to do it than to put them in a journal? So I am actually creating a journal that will be my journal for this whole process of where we're going to be putting these paintings in, and we'll be able to see how they've changed, how we've changed over the course of the 20 minutes a day. All right, so while my timer's going here, I'm chatting. I need to be painting. So maybe I will pause that just for a minute and get out some paints. I'm going to use some yellows, some orange. We're going to be finishing this up. I'm going to use some greens. Ooh, that's gross. Some light and dark greens. No, I'm not really. I don't know why it sounds that way. All of a sudden, my voice does sound like I'm a little sniffly, but I really am not. I don't know. Maybe it's just an allergy or something. Maybe I need to sneeze. I don't know. But I really am not. I'm not coming down with anything. I feel great. I think it's because I've been rushing. I have had a lot going on this morning, and I was a little nervous if I was going to actually make it to get on, but I did. So I've been like running. I had other stuff on my desk, so I had to like hurry and clear all that off. All right, now let me see if I can get this thing to reset. There we go. Now we're painting for 20 minutes. So I got a little yellow and a little orange. Remember I talked about if we were a frog and we were going to hop around? Well, I've got all this green happening, which I can hop around. And then I've got this orange happening. Got a little orange hanging out here. I'm going to put a little of this orangey yellow, just a little hint on our leaves, okay? And so we kind of started some leaves off and on Friday, and we're just going to add to them a little bit here, and we're going to kind of shape them a little bit more as we go through this process. So they're going to look a little more like their ruffly selves rather than just some kind of big old blobs hanging out. They're going to start to look a little bit more like some foliage. But y'all know me. If you've been with me for any length of time, you know I'm not perfect. I don't try to achieve perfect. Oh, thank you, Laureen. And so I don't try to achieve that. I paint for me and what I like. And I encourage everyone else to do the same. So that doesn't have to be. This is all about growing your skills and getting better. So tell me, did y'all have a good weekend? Did you do anything fun for the weekend? I had relatively quiet weekend, I guess. I will be live again. This is back-to-back live day, I guess, for an event in the Crafty Bunch. I'll be live on my page also, but also in the Crafty Bunch, there's an event today of the color pink. And y'all know I'm all about my pinks, even though I love all colors. I really do. But we'll be in there. I'll be in there today at 1 Eastern. So just a little bit from now. And we'll be doing something with my journal. I made my journal. I should say I did not make my journal. That's probably a little false statement. That's one of them, like, maybe fake news. I don't know. I'm just kidding when it comes to that. But because I say I did it, and I did, but it's just the cover is put together. The cover is put together. That's all I can say. And so I really can't say it's made. The cover exists. I'm going to put a little bit more of that yellowy orange up on that pumpkin because I just like this color. And so anyway, and you notice I'm not really paying attention to where I'm putting this down at. I am and I'm not. I'm just being cognizant of where I want it to be light. I'm not really being fussy about exactly how much gets put down, how much orange, how much yellow, whatever comes off of my brush between those two colors when I hit it is what comes down. If it's more orange, if it's more yellow, that is all good to me. We just want these colors to kind of just be throughout this piece, right? And you can start to see how those leaves are starting to take shape a little bit. Now we're going to add a few more leaves. So I'm going to grab some of my green. I don't care if I have some of that yellow and some of that orange on my brush. And we're just going to add a few more up in here. Again, I'm just going to be a little crazy about it. Pumpkin leaves are kind of very just like they're big and they're kind of just I don't know how to describe them, like fingery almost. So that's what we're creating. Just kind of that fingery motion. I don't know exactly. We're just having fun kind of with the basic shape at first, and then we're just like, okay, I want to make this a little wider. That one's a big leaf. That's a long leaf. That might be like 2 leaves, one kind of over the other, I think is what we're going to end up going with there. Got one leaf hanging out here, and then there's going to be like a leaf going in this background here. Totally making it up, right? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out before we're done. This is going to be, I'm so excited about this journal, guys. This is going to be almost a year. My journal is going to hold a year's worth of art. And I think this is going to sound a little crazy, but you know, this will be something that will live beyond my years. So, not to say I ain't ready to check out no time soon, but it will live beyond my years. And so, which is kind of exciting to think. So it's going to have all kind of stuff in it. It's when y'all see it, if you come back and join me at 1, you will see it because that's what I'm going to be working on at 1. That journal cover and the the sides and all of that. And let me tell you, it's quite the doozy of a journal, guys. And it's the first journal I've made, other than like altering a book, like from scratch. And I'm like, go big or go home. So, and how fun will it be? I know I have some stuff from like my grandmother and my great aunts that is just, I'm going to put some little curly cues. Just because that's one of my favorite things about pumpkins is just these like little curly cue things that come off of them. So I just kind of want a few. Just here and there. We have this whole paper to just take up some time or space, I should say, not time, with as much of this as we want. We can come in as thin as we want, thick as we want. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter what we do. I'm just going to add a little bit onto that leaf. That leaf looks like it's missing something. All right, now we're going to have fun adding on to all of these leaves. And again, a little yellow, a little orange. Now be careful with orange and green, right? You have to be careful with those two colors. The yellow is perfect, but when you start to play with green and orange together, you're going to go brown. So be careful when you start to get that in there. Because if you start to mix the orange in with that green, all of a sudden now you're mixing all of your primary colors, right? So red and yellow make orange, and blue and yellow make green. So you mix the green with the orange and you've got red, yellow, blue. And whenever you mix red, yellow, blue together, you're going to get some form of brown. So be careful when you are mixing your colors that you're not mixing unless you want a brown. But if you don't want a brown, be careful that what you're mixing isn't all three colors, your primary colors. Because if it is, you're going to make mud. You're going to make brown. And that's sometimes where when you're trying to, oh, this was 2 leaves. I've got to break that up. Okay. So if I want to break something up, I'm going to go dark. And then I'm going to figure out where this one leaf is and then this leaf. And all of a sudden, now I'm separating out my 2 leaves. Dark pushes back, light pulls forward. So what I want to push back, I just turn darker. There's one instances where that's not necessarily true, but we won't get into that today because for this purpose and for what we're doing today, that is 100% true. So what you want to push back, you darken. What you want to pull forward, you lighten. And so there's other ways to pull and push too when you're painting and working with paints. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Hey, Sheila, good to see you. When you're working with paints, there's other ways that you can control where your eye goes, what you see first, etc. And that kind of goes on the scale of warm and cool, but and how you tone. But for the purposes of this painting and what we're doing here, that's kind of some advanced stuff. We're just going to stick with the light and darks. And how that just kind of works in. But I'm loving my pumpkins. So far, my leaves are they're looking yummy. Doing good, waiting to go to therapy. Been listening while driving home. Will you be careful? You be careful. That's the most important thing is to be careful there. I'm going to go into a little bit of black. Because again, black and green. I want to work on some of these edges. I'm going to go into a lot of water. I may even change my brush out to a brush where I can get a thinner line here. Thank you, Sheila. Well, you can go grab all of the replays and paint along with me. I would absolutely love if you did and create your very own. Dee is painting along with me. And don't compare mine to yours. It's just yours to yours, okay? So don't compare. We're all where we are. And we all have a path to grow on. Yours may end up better than mine. I really think Dee's flamingo ended up better than mine. And so that's okay, because mine is mine. This is all about personal growth. That's why I changed that 95% better. It's just 95% better than where we started. Meaning individually, not meaning collectively. I love improving my skills. And the only way you get better is by doing. You can watch, you can whatever, and you can pick up lots of tips and lots of tricks watching and learn lots of knowledge about paint, about coloration, about the color wheel, the like how to apply. But until you actually start to put your brush on paper or on canvas or wood, whatever you're painting on, you actually, that's what makes you better. And that's what I'm hoping that these are going to encourage, is people painting with me. And so it's 20 minutes a day. You don't have to do it at the exact same time I'm doing it. Whatever 20 minutes of your day works the best for you. That is all you have to do. And I would love it so much. Or just join me 20 minutes every day at lunchtime. It may have to shift a little bit at lunchtime, but it still will be at lunchtime. So we may have to like move it to like 12:15 a little bit, just to ensure that I can do this. Ooh, I don't want to do that. I'm making mud now. Just why I told you I went into the wrong color. Kept working on your green pumpkin and just couldn't get it to be what I like. So guess what? My dark veins were curvy the wrong way. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens. And so it's just, kind of like this little thing here, like, yeah, I've done that before too. Curved them the wrong way. That's an easy fix, but yes, it does take a little time, a little patience, because you got to wait for stuff to dry to paint over. But that's the beauty of acrylics. And I mean, I guess to some degree, any paint, but I personally like the fact that acrylics are so easy to work with and deal with. And you don't have that like wait time of oils where you have to like really wait for it to I do that every time I stick the top in the next color. Where you have to like wait for it to dry, because it dries so quick that if you just work on another piece of the painting away from where you were at, it will just automatically dry. And on paper it dries even faster. So you may even find, if you're a canvas painter like me, just waiting for that to dry, and then on paper you don't have as much time as you think you do, as you do on canvas, just because it dries a whole lot faster. And you're like, dang, that's dry already. If I'm gonna get any kind of good action on that far as blending, I have to do a little scrub. That's a technical term here, scrub. We came up with that the other day, talking about blending when you work blending on paints that are dry. Yes. Yeah, you know, I say don't be too critical in your art, and I don't want people to be too critical in their art because it only holds them back. But when you're looking at something and you're like, there's something off about it, there's something weird about it, or 20 minutes is up, guys. Wow, that's fast. Okay, I'm going to do for another minute or two because I'm going to add some really light in here. I'm working on white here. And so, but when you're like doing this and something looks odd, trust your eyeball. You may not figure out what it is that looks odd, but your eyes are really good at finding the oddities. And sometimes you just embrace them and you're like, that's exactly what I wanted. And you just embrace that oddity. And sometimes you're just like, okay, I need to fix you. You're like, you're not just odd, but you're like disturbing me. And so when I have those kind of oddities, I try to figure out what it is. And oftentimes it's something simple that is either color or depending on the subject, it could be like the highlights, it could be the there's lots of things that it could cause. In landscaping, it could be where your lights and darks are, and horizon lines, it could be that horizon line in the sky, and there's a few rules, and I talk about the rules as, we come upon them, the pertinent ones that we need to follow. Now, there's lots of rules I break all the time when it comes to painting rules. But when it comes to painting rules for many things, or for some things, I should say, the rules exist for a reason. And they exist because it actually causes your eye to see weirdness. Like, it's weird if it doesn't follow those rules. And so, like the rounding rules, you want something to really look round, you have to follow those rules or it doesn't look round. It just looks like it looks, and it looks flat. So there are a few rules that we follow. I'm just putting on some brighter highlights here. And we're going to call this one Done in the Books. Now, white will actually, you would think it like brightens and lightens, and it does, but it also kind of tones down. You're back. You came on and you were like, I lost you that quick and I came back. Yeah, I got you. That's funny. But I will be live again at 1, so come back. I'm going to be in the crafty bunch. We're going to be working on the color pink, or working with the color pink, I should say. And I'm going to actually be working on my journal that this is going to go in. This will be my first, I guess, entry. How exciting. I'll talk about my journal and what we're doing with it and how it's going to work. But I'm in love with this piece. I hope you are. And I hope you plan on coming back and joining me at 1 and planning on painting with me again on Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to be painting, but it'll be something different because this one is, I think, done. Ready for the books. Anyway, I'll turn this back up. but here it is. I hope you love it. I can't wait to see your version of this. Go ahead and try it. You can follow the replays, but it's 20 minutes a day. We did this over 5 days. We started last Tuesday and we finished it up today. It's just Monday through Friday that I paint live for 20 minutes. Plan on joining me, and I will see you all in a little bit. Bye.